Carlos Alcaraz is only 22, and already he's one of the most recognizable stars in tennis. That's a lot of pressure for a young man to handle. And in his new Netflix documentary called My Way, fans get a glimpse into the mind of Carlitos, as well as the extreme dedication and professionalism of the team that surrounds him. After binge watching all 3 episodes, the team here at Tennis Now has some thoughts. Now, if you haven't seen it, here's what it's all about and why we think you should watch it. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Number 1, he has a trophy room loaded with tennis shoes. Alcaraz keeps his trophies and a stash of mint tennis shoes in the same room at his home. The first episode starts there, and it looks like he's going to need a lot more room very soon. Number 2, his fear is that tennis becomes an obligation for him. He says he constantly feels trapped. In the special, he reveals some very deep feelings. He says it triggers anxiety, frustration, and doubt, so much so that he has to ask himself if he really wants this. Do I really want to live this life? Is what Carlos thinks. Number 3, his relationship with his agent, Alberto Molina. Very important. You see it when Alcaraz is late for a player's outing in Madrid by about a half an hour. Molina turns the episode into a lesson about being punctual and showing respect for his peers. Molina seems like the perfect agent, almost an extension of the family, willing to be stern when necessary. Number 4, Carlos can be fragile. In the first episode, we learn a lot about how Carlos deals with his injuries, and the interviews with his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, and other members of his team give a lot of insight into how he processes information psychologically and how he doesn't feel good playing if his body is not 100% perfect. It's a thing he'll have to learn how to deal with as his career progresses. We see this through the prism of his forearm injury, which caused some really big struggles last season, including a withdrawal from Barcelona and a loss to Andre Rublev in Madrid. It should be taken with a grain of salt, though, because Alcaraz overcame his doubts, won his maiden Roland Garros title at the end of the spring, even while cramping during a semifinal against Sinner. This is important because Alcaraz also cramped the previous year in the semifinals. You'll remember he ended up winning just 2 of the final 14 games against Novak Djokovic in a tragic loss. But this time, he's able to deal with the pain and soldier through. Number 5, words of wisdom from Nadal. Now, if you're missing the King of Clay these days, there's plenty of Rafa in this series, and some moments are poignant and candid. Here's what Nadal says about Carlos's quest for greatness. He says to reach those numbers, you need many years, no matter how good you are. You can't do it in 5 years. You have to be able to live with that motivation or that ultimate goal in mind and pursue it until you really achieve it. Later on in the series, we can feel Alcaraz's pain after a traumatizing doubles loss in the Olympics next to Nadal. Carlos said it was like a dream that just vanished into thin air, and it really hurt. Same for Nadal, by the way, because he says it was his last chance to win an Olympic medal. Number 6, in the end, it's about balance and maturity. Alcaraz says it best at the end of the episode 3, really summing up his struggles and what it's like to walk in his shoes. He says his dream is to become one of the greatest players in history. He wants to sit at the same table as the big 3. But does he really have the mindset to do everything it takes? Carlos is very honest, enough to admit that he doesn't have the answer to that yet. And then he finishes with a home run to close the final episode, saying that he prefers to put happiness before any kind of accomplishment, because being happy is an accomplishment, and happiness isn't always easy to find. Lessons to live by, and not exactly expected from someone who's only 22 years old. It's a really good series. If you watched it, we want you to let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.